Wow, what a poor choice of morning to sleep in. I was up till some ungodly hour playing Gleaner Heights last night, and I slept well past the announcement trailer this morning. Here I am though, and oh boy. Hyrule Warriors is an interesting game when considering its place in the fandom. A lot of people really like it, but some people are like genuinely bothered that it even exists. Like the idea of a hack and slash Zelda upsets them to their very core. Then again, some people act like this towards every Zelda spin-off. Myself, I love Hyrule Warriors. I think I've put close to as many hours into Hyrule Warriors as I have Breath of the Wild. So of course when I booted the trailer for Age of Calamity up and saw that it was a Hyrule Warriors sequel, I was thrilled. I want this video to be broken into two sections. First, I'm going to do a quick trailer breakdown so I can see everything we're working with. A quick one, there are plenty of other videos to get a super deep dive. Then I'm going to ask 3 big questions I have about the game and its presentation. First, the trailer analysis. So the trailer opens up with the familiar retelling of the fall of Hyrule from Impa.
The history of the royal family of Hyrule is also the history of Calamity Ganon.
The footage looks pretty identical to the Breath of the Wild cutscene we're familiar with. Then we hear yet again another line from Breath of the Wild, this time from the king.
I think you are now ready. Ready to hear what happened 100 years ago.
See Link raising his sword into the air in a suit of Hylian armor. We then see a shot of Zelda walking into the light. And then finally we get a shot of some Hyrule Warriors action, with the Hylian army fighting off moblins and getting pelted by cannon fire before Link runs in to engage. Then 2 of the champions are introduced. Mipha is walking with Zelda, Revali is being a giant show-off like usual. An army of moblins advances onto Hyrule Castle, Link tosses a bomb into a crowd of moblins, and then a bit of story stuff as we see the king commanding an army and Zelda pensively watching guardians free themselves. Link, Zelda, and an unknown Sheikah speak to the king. The Sheikah looks similar to Paya to me, which means it's likely Impa. Some Stalfos rise from the ground, and we see Zelda using stasis on a Lynel. We see Mipha fighting a guardian before Urbosa is introduced, perfect dodging a Yiga soldier like the absolute queen she is. Then a shot of all the champions, including Daruk, looking on in anger. We see Vah Rudania and a random Zora giving the saddest look before being annihilated. And then some gameplay of Daruk fighting a Hinox, Revali shooting bomb arrows, then a montage of quick cutscene shots from various champions, before ending on a dramatic shot of Calamity Ganon. The gorgeous title art is shown before the release date of November this year. And finally, the trailer closes off with the last shot of Zelda being a sad girl. So for confirmed characters, we've seen Link, Zelda, Mipha, Urbosa, Daruk, and Revali. For potential characters, we have the king, and the Sheikah who is likely a young Impa. For enemies, we know that we'll be fighting red and blue moblins, a variety of Stalfos, the Hinox, Lynels, the Yiga, and Guardians. The shot of Vah Rudania makes me think we might be fighting some corrupted divine beasts as well. The battlefields will include Hyrule Fields, Zora Domain, and Gerudo Town. We see Link use a bomb and Zelda use stasis, so Breath of the Wild abilities will be returning as well. So the first of my 3 questions is, who else will be playable? A lot of Hyrule Warriors' value came from the immense roster of playable characters, and I don't think Link, Zelda, and the 4 champions will cut it for the sequel. If the king and Impa are playable, that helps a bit as well, but it still doesn't come close to the same as the first game. They could go the route they went with Lana and Sia and invent some new characters specifically for the game, maybe a Hylian captain or something. They could perhaps make a monk playable, Pura if they really wanted to stretch it. This actually leads to my second question. How serious will they take the game? A lot of what I liked about Hyrule Warriors was how wacky and free-spirited it was, how creative it got. Sure, the story was on par with average Zelda fanfiction, but that allowed so many fun scenarios to play out. Characters from each timeline, teleport them in. Link is a girl, Linkle exists. We want Wind Waker characters, alternate dimension. They placed fun and enjoyability first and figured out the story after, which truly is the essence of Zelda design. Age of Calamity seems to be telling a serious, possibly canon story about the rise of Calamity Ganon though, so I'm very curious about how reckless they'll be allowed to be. Being a bit reckless could help a great deal with the character roster. There are characters there for them to use if they want to. Riju and Sidon are two characters with massive fan bases that people would kill to have in. I myself, of course, would love to play as Paya. Beetle could be added, Tingle set precedents for that, and Cass, we could play as Cass with a music-based moveset similar to Sheik. But all of this relies on them willing to be a bit silly. They could keep these characters locked to some alternate timeline adventure, just like they did with the Wind Waker characters. It would allow them to be added to the game without ruining the main story. And will we be allowed to play the villains? Master Koga, the Ganon Blights, etc.? Hyrule Warriors allowed us to do so, and again, it'll all come down to how serious they're taking it. And my last question isn't about the game, but about the presentation the game is nested in. The end of the trailer says next update 9/26. What does this mean? Is it in reference to more Age of Calamity news? Or is it the next Breath of the Wild update? It's all very exciting. So that's all I have for you. I'll probably make some more Age of Calamity videos as we go along, especially after this mysterious update on the 26th. So what do you guys think about Age of Calamity? Are you as excited as I am, or are you kind of sad about it? Let me know in the comments below, on my Twitter or in my Discord. Links in the description. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay safe out there. It's dangerous to go alone.